few times, a dozen times, about 3 hours worth, you'll start to get.
What you need.
Welcome back to Adventures Unknown KK. I'm KK. Today we are checking out the Keep Fan House in Chatsworth, Georgia. The house was built in the early 1800s. Let's go check it out.
Pond 5. Pond 5. Pond 5. Pond 5.
Check out all this corn.
Everything that's now part of the little Spring Place community here would have been James Van's property. He had close to 1,000 acres. So a lot of, about 90 buildings we know, and so you had a sawmill, you had a grist mill, you had barns, stables, smokehouses to cure your meat in, hen houses, chicken houses, blacksmith's forge and shop, just everything. The state acquired the property and started fixing it back up to be, a historic site for the public. The porches were completely gone, and so they built the porches that you're looking at now back in the late 50s as the park was getting set up. So we don't know for sure exactly how it was set up, and it's kind of a false indication of wealth. Big porches with the big columns were an indication of a lot of wealth back then. Of course, James Van was wealthy, but those 4, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, make it look like it's a big 6 column. We're working with both skilled, some Cherokee craftsmen and carpenters. They had been developing these skills for a long time. This feature here, you'll often hear it referred to as the floating staircase. Technically, it's called a cantilevered staircase. It's the oldest known cantilever staircase in Georgia. Up until the 1990s, this center post was not here at all. It just stood there on its own, just from the support and the design, the way it was built. Look here, you'll see continuation of the scroll, the woodwork in here and other places throughout the house also. The house, of course, had been lived in and repainted and covered up and stuff, but when the state acquired it, they did start stripping everything down to the plaster and found these colors that you see in the house. And so this furnishings in here are not antiques of James Van or Joe Van. There are pieces that were bought, donated by local people, bought by the state of Georgia. had some arsenic and other chemicals in it that were kind of resistant to insects. And so this color tended to be used more in kitchens, around cook areas to kind of repel the bugs, so to speak. We've got a lot of trees right here. But the Vans, because this was plantation agricultural land, it would have been wide open view all the way around the corner. You get the slave bed over here, buddy. It is an 85 character system. The Cherokee Phoenix newspaper was a weekly newspaper. And so when you look at it, it's a syllable based. And so when we say Cherokee, they pronounce it kind of a Salagi. Each of these characters is one sound. So Cherokee, Salagi. And so for most words, you're using less letters than us. You know, it takes us 8 letters to write Cherokee for them because there's 3 sounds. Cherokee, there's 3 symbols for it. This is a little more fancy bathroom here. This is actually the oldest piece of furniture we have. It is early 1790. Not get anybody until things start moving. Watch your head here. Watch your forehead. These rope beds are very common back then. The rope does 2 things. It holds your frame together, and it also holds your mattress up. The bed key was used at that time period. If you look, you've got one long piece of rope. There's a knot in it right here. And it goes across, makes a U-turn. And so you had 2 pegs, one for each side. When you put it on here, you would twist it, take some of the slack. You can see how it gets a little tighter. Hold it in place with your bed key peg. Those are for the Cherokee ball game called a Netsi, which meant little war. And all your tribes had a game that had they're not really rackets to hit the ball, they're to catch and throw, more like a lacrosse or field hockey we play today. And of course in the dark it's even harder. But once you swing it a few times, a dozen times, about 3 hours worth, you'll start to get This is a little river cane flute. Cane grows, of course, all along our streams and rivers. It was used for basket work. They made mats out of it to lay on in the early days before they had cloth. They made flutes out of it, so it was a very important plant for the southeastern Indians. You have a little trundle bed, which of course is still in people's little small version with the rope bed underneath it. If your brother or sister to sleep on underneath there. Watch it here. Hams or whatever from the smokehouse, they would keep them stored down here, and they would keep them locked up. 1809 construction, and then it extended into that side also up underneath that. This is where they would put like 4th and 5th graders in when they misbehaved.
Alright guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the tour so far. Now let's check out the spring house. This spring house is awesome. I hope y'all guys enjoyed our adventure. The Keith Fan House was very cool. But until our next adventure, give this video 2 thumbs up, ring that notification bell so you never miss an update, and keep on subscribing.